This podcast is a production of UBT Media. I'm so stoked to have you here.
So stoked to be here.
We've been working on this for about 6 months.
At least.
At least 6 months. We've had some rescheduling going on.
Weather, shows,
Dude.
everything.
It is, when it's cold, but we don't typically have like super cold weather. But every time we've tried to do this, it's been in like the 30s.
Yeah, well, it is Georgia, so there's nothing really typical about the weather here other than being odd.
Yeah, it's so true. Well, I'm here with Tim Wallace, best damn shop around. We have known each other. I was trying to think about this. So my first memory of us meeting was when I had that little camper, and I think I had the red and white crew cab, square body.
Right.
And we were at year one, maybe? In a parking lot.
Yeah.
And that may not have been the first time we met, but that's the first memory I have.
I don't remember the show, but yeah, I remember because it was such a cool setup. It drew me to it, being a truck guy and everything vintage guy. I was like, man, this is sweet.
Yeah, that had to have been, the channel just crossed 7 years of being in existence on November 28th. And so that had to be within the first year, probably,
right.
First 2 years at most. But why don't you tell everybody where you're from? Because we're not too far away from each other.
No, not far as a crow flies, but to get here across the traffic.
Unbearable.
So I'm from Gainesville, Georgia, originally born and raised. That's where my shop's at. I live in Athens, though.
Yeah.
A little bit of a
commute.
commute.
You live in Athens?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a commute. It's like 35 miles door to door, but it's 129. It's a 4-lane road with 55 suggested speed limit.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Why do you live in Athens?
If you've ever been to Gainesville, you would know that it's a great town to have a business. It's a great industry town.
Yeah.
It's not
It's the
fun
poultry capital of the world?
Yeah. It's the poultry capital of the world, but there's nothing really fun there. Whereas
you
Athens,
got a cool little square area in Gainesville.
It's gotten better.
Yeah.
But see, I moved to Athens maybe 10 years ago, and at that time, the only thing you could do on the square was get in trouble.
Yeah.
Where
at the Monkey Barrel?
That was one of them.
Yeah.
That was one of them.
I lived in Gainesville off No Pone Road for a little while in a former life for probably 9-10 months.
Yeah, you had
the Monkey Barrel was the trouble spot.
In the boiler room.
Yeah.
Those. So met some friends that went to UGA. Just fell in love with the town. I love live music. I love nature stuff. There's so much stuff to do.
Yeah. Well, you're sitting in a room. My wife Sarah is here also. For those who are just listening, Sarah's a UGA grad.
Oh, nice.
Our son, I'm going to go ahead and bust him out. Our son just got accepted to UGA,
congratulations.
which I'm so stoked about. He has not made a decision if that's where he's going to go. We hear about tech here in the next couple of days. So he applied to Georgia Tech and Georgia, and he's trying to figure out, if he gets into tech, which one he'll go to. If he doesn't get into tech, he's going to Georgia, which is pretty awesome. But I grew up with a bunch of friends who went to UGA, either graduated from UGA or failed out of UGA, but I spent a bunch of time there too. Yeah. And it is awesome for live music, awesome for great food, awesome for getting out and exploring and hunting and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's so much to do in that area. I mean, you can literally go out and be by yourself, or you can go in town and be with everybody.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's such a cool town because I don't know if it's still true, but it used to be like the most bars per capita.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's easy to find adult beverages in that town.
Man.
Good local food, like non-chain food. There's nature trails. There's the Broad River that you can go tubing, kayaking. And then
Georgia Theater.
Yeah. All the live music. And then 3 or 4 breweries, but right outside of town, you go 15 minutes down the road to Oglethorpe, and it's like being in the middle of nowhere country.
Oh, no kidding.
So you want to go out there and just be peaceful and 10 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
It's a cool little town.
It is so cool. I didn't realize, though, 35 miles away from your shop, the cool thing about your shop is, and people are going to start to put this together if they haven't already, but anytime I go see Alex, or anytime I go see Eric, or anytime I come see you, you are all right there in the same industry, or the same industrial park, I should say. And you actually manage that, or did at one time, right?
Yeah, I'm still like the facilities manager there. And it's great because we have not only, Eric, Alex, as far as automotive stuff, but we have gutter guys and landscapers. So there's a lot of industry there. If you need something handled, you can kind of get it handled in our complex.
Yeah,
it's
that
really
is so cool. Is is it Chaparro? The chop
Chaparro.
shop? Is he still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, he's still there.
That's cool. So there is some cool stuff happening in your little area. But we were talking actually off camera about the unit size there. So
Right.
are there different unit sizes in that complex?
So they're all the same size. They're 900 square feet apiece.
Yeah, so they're tiny little shotgun spots.
You have to be very smart with your usage of space.
I'm learning about that with my spot.
You know.
Yeah.
But there's two different ones. There's the ones up towards the front. They have bigger doors. It was originally for RV storage is what it was originally for.
Okay.
But it was built in like 06, 07. So when the crash happened, the guy was like, whatever I can get. Anybody wants to come in here, come in here. So the first ones have bigger doors and they have 220 power. The ones towards the end have smaller doors and 110 power.
Okay. And you guys are all in the 110 smaller door section, right?
Eric has the bigger door because he's at the front.
Oh, okay.
I'm at the cutoff point, and someone may or may not have gotten 220 to my unit at some point. I don't know what happened there, but I have 220 in mine.
Very cool. So you got a hybrid. You got small door, but 220.
Exactly.
Well, you also have a couple units though.
I also have 3 units. Yeah, that's but it's nice because they're all, even though two of the 3 are next to each other, I left the wall up because anybody that doesn't know, I do metal fab and mechanical. That's what I do in my unit.
Yeah.
And then next door, my buddy Taylor, I've hired him in, and he's doing the majority of the paint and body work. So we have it separated by that, so I don't get the dust and overspray, and he doesn't get the WD-40 and grind and dust.
I was going to say, and sparks and all that coming his way.
And then the third unit's just for storage because we don't leave anything outside. Like all customer stuff comes inside at night, so I have a whole unit dedicated to just keeping stuff dry and safe.
Very cool. Well, I want to get into the YouTube. I want to get into all the social stuff because I was actually looking last night. Man, you've had some great growth on YouTube. So we're going to get into that.
I mean, I'm no UBT, but we're making baby steps.
Man, you are making more than baby steps. But I want to jump back like I do with every guest because I'm a big nostalgia guy. Right. I'm a guy who just loves how people got to where they are kind of thing. And I have a feeling you've got a pretty interesting automotive sort of classic story. So you grew up in Gainesville.
Right.
Where did your love for classic trucks and cars come from? Because you are not just a classic truck guy. One of my favorite things about you is the diversity of vehicles that you own and love. And even watching your latest Turkey Rod Run video, you're walking around looking at stuff that I honestly didn't even know what some of it was. And you're just pointing out these little things about it this year, these headlights, that sort of thing. So tell us where that love came from.
I mean, it just born into it, bred into me, man. Like my dad, he is a lifetime car guy.
Yeah.
He spent his early years doing restoration work, like I'm talking about real high-end, 100-point, nice.
Concourse type stuff.
If you ever heard of the car collector Milton Robson?
Yes.
My dad worked for him for, I think, 10 or 15 years as the sole restoration guy for him.
No kidding.
And he did some of the most beautiful, like, OE-style restoration stuff. So he did that the whole time I was growing up. Then he got into the collision stuff because, let's be honest, there's more money in it.
Absolutely.
And now in his later years, now that he's knocking on retirement, he's actually he's working for Milton again. He's restoring cars. They're doing some beautiful work. So he's always been into that, but he's been into the OE, like chalk marks.
Yes.
I mean, I'm talking about 3 different levels of satin black.
Yeah.
I mean, like concourse style. That's his stuff. Attention to detail, and that's great. Okay, and then my grandfather is a used car guy.
Oh yeah, so you had no choice.
Yeah, he was a fluff and flip kind of guy.
But I find that those types of people, especially when they're in that father or grandfather or it's a family type business, you can't help but be a car guy because and especially one who loves a bunch of different cars because you're seeing it all the time. You're exposed to it all the time.
Growing up around it, yeah, absolutely. And it was funny because my grandfather, like I said, he worked for Pet Milk Dairies as a delivery driver, but to make ends meet with 3 kids, he started buying and selling cars.
Yeah.
Well, when his kids got old enough to work on them, he's like, "Hey, why don't you go paint that car for me?" My dad was like, "Okay, cool." And then he kind of got lured into it.
Yeah.
So he started doing that.
A bit out of necessity.
And just fell into it. He found that he was good at it, so he just kept doing it.
So is that how you learned to paint?
It is, yeah. Yeah, so I grew up just hanging around his shops, helping with what I could, messing up most of the things I touched, learning the hard way. Just doing that. And then I found that I didn't care for the perfection as much as he did.
Yeah.
I didn't like we can't turn the windshield wipers on because it might scratch the windshield.
Yeah.
You know, we can't shut the door all the way when we store it because we don't want to flatten the original NOS rubber that he found. You know, like
that's a whole nother level of detail.
Right. And that's what he loved. And I can respect it, but I want to go out. I want to cut a circle in it.
Yeah.
You know, I want to go out there and beat the brakes off of something.
Yeah.
And that doesn't jive.
And drive it.
That doesn't jive. So I found my love for motorsports. And so I kind of combined the two. I started taking classic cars, and I don't want to, just kind of combining them with like hot rod motors and old cars. And, that's more I like nice drivers, nice, respectable, what we call cruise night cars.
Yeah, yes, 100%.
I've done the panel gapped perfection. Like I've done those restorations too. And when you get done, you're like wiping it with a diaper.
Can't even touch it.
No.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I respect about you the most. I've never done the full detail, concourse, whatever. I'll buy some NOS stuff and mostly hubcaps because I like hubcaps, but I'll put them right on a truck that probably don't deserve those hubcaps and drive it from here to Arizona. And I've always respected that about you. You seem to build drivers. I've actually sold you one of my vehicles before that you appreciated for really the same reason I appreciated it, because it had really cool original paint. Yep. And it was a
big,
cool truck.
Big patina guy.
Yeah, big patina guy, even though you can paint.
That's the thing. The paint's too stressful. I've got one painted truck, and it's, golly, like driving over here, I'm like 100 yards behind every car in front of me. Like I see some construction on the road, and I'm dodging.
Yeah. Well, you did have to drive across Atlanta to get here, or at least around Atlanta to get here, which it's a wild world out here.
Yeah, the patina stuff's, I don't know. To me, it's more fun, and it's what I like to call honest, right? Yeah. Like you have a truck like Teddy, it's honest, right? Yep. You know what's there, you know what 100%. It is. When you have a painted thing, what's under it?
Yeah.
What are they
Unless
hiding?
Tim Wallace painted it.
Well, yes, exactly. Because if I'm going to do something, if I'm going to paint something, I'm going to do it to the fullest extent of my ability. Yeah. To match the customers or my goal, right? Like I can do those crazy paint jobs, but I like the driver style stuff.
Yep.
We don't spend quite as much time on the cut and buff. We don't spend quite as much time on, some of like the detail things, but it makes it where it's a lot more affordable, and you don't have to be as stressed out about driving it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about this. You drove over here in a K5 Blazer, a two-wheel drive K5 Blazer, square body, 81, 87 type truck, and you've painted it. So tell us, we're going to do a what's in my driveway, so everybody's going to get the full, the full rundown on this thing. But give folks at home just an idea of what it is, and talk a little bit about the paint process for it.
So it's a 80. That's a good question. It's 84.
84.
It's 84. I wanted a two-wheel drive K5.
Yep.
They quit making them in 81.
82.
82.
Yep.
I couldn't afford one that I could either afford or was worth fixing, because it seemed like all of them were like mud trucks that had been run, jumped and rolled and whatever, or they were really nice original trucks that people were asking nice money for, whatever. I found that one was a 6.2 diesel four-wheel drive.
Oh, no kidding.
It was up in Chattanooga, almost rust-free. It had two spots, maybe the size of a business card in the whole truck.
Yeah.
And I bought it, and it had a repaint that was kind of questionable. And I wouldn't even call it patina. It was like the repaint was falling off of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at that point, I'd already done the two-wheel drive conversion. I'm like, I'm kind of committed now.
Yeah.
Let's just do a driver-style paint job. So it was strip off all of the questionable paint down to good substrate, and build it back up there with good quality stuff, but just not spending a ton of time on the cut and buff and whatnot. And it's a good driver.
How did you convert it to two-wheel drive?
I put the two-wheel drive subframe on the four-wheel drive chassis.
Yeah.
Because it's all self-contained.
Yeah.
The upper and lower control arm. So I had a donor truck, just regular pickup.
Yep.
Unbolted the subframe from the chassis, rolled it out, wheels and tires and everything. Took all the leaf springs and hangers and everything off the four-wheel drive. Rolled it under, same width.
Yep.
Rolled it under, measured my wheelbase, crossed everything to make sure everything was square, marked my holes, drilled them. It was good to go. The only difference is the four-wheel drive chassis is taller.
Yeah.
So the motor mount pedestal I had to modify. But other than that, it was a direct swap.
I love it.
And it was one of my best videos on YouTube. Like,
of course it is. That's why I asked you about it.
Yeah,
because people want to know how to do that.
Well, when you did yours, you had to find a two-wheel drive
chassis. I bought a two-wheel drive chassis,
which is a great way to do it if you can find one.
That's right.
And then you run into the people that care whether or not the chassis has the same VIN as the body.
Yeah, which I don't.
I don't. As long as it's not stolen, either one.
But I will say exactly. I will say one of the things that we ran into though that I didn't anticipate, and maybe Mike did in his head because Mike Howe obviously did a lot of the fabrication work and all the chassis work. Him and Churchill and Wesley and Trey, but we had an 80 frame but an 86 body, and so we had to cut those reliefs right in front of the seats, and he had to fabricate like two little windows for the frame to come up into the floorboard right there.
The shape a little different.
The shape's a little bit different. So if we'd have had an 80 body, which is what it was originally on, you wouldn't have had to worry about that because I think the floor is raised a little bit higher in those.
And the bumpers mount differently.
Yeah. Yes, they do, for sure. So I think the cool thing that you did is you just took a four-wheel drive and just converted the front end, really, essentially.
Yeah.
Did you have to do a bunch of crazy fab work on the rear end to get it that low?
No, I did, classic flip.
Yep.
And I built my own flip that incorporates a block into it.
Oh, very cool.
And then I moved the hangers in the back, and that was it. Like it was real straightforward, and it's as low as it can possibly be without modifying the floor.
That's what we did with ours.
Because the rear end housing starts getting close to the floor. Yep. That area of the floor is right under the seat.
Yep.
The rear seat. The rear seat already sits kind of high in them. Like when you have a front and rear passenger, the rear is always higher, right?
Yeah, you're looking at them like this,
right,
in the back.
So if you notch that and move the seat up, now their head's in the roof.
100%. Yep.
And as cool as they look, like aired all the way out,
it creates a bunch of problems.
You either can't have a back seat or you can't have anyone in it.
Yep.
And
if they're sitting in it too, their legs will literally be straight out in front of them.
Right.
There's no arch, no being able to sit. You're kind of plopped with your feet out in front of you.
So I found a happy medium. It's got 22-inch transports on it.
What color did you go on those?
Gloss black.
Gloss black, which I'm a big satin black guy. But with that thing being slick paint and it having gloss black wheels, I mean, it looks amazing. In fact, it's got me thinking I may go gloss black on. I've got some Detroit Steels in here for Teddy that we're going to end up putting back on the truck. And I think I may go gloss on it, but just because of how good yours looks.
Yeah, my thought with the gloss is when you get the transport wheels, they're satin, right?
Yep.
And while they look good satin, like you said, it matches better with the shiny paint.
Yeah.
And the gloss it kind of brings it to a higher level. Especially, I like to put a little like low sheen tire shine on my stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And if you ever get that on a satin wheel,
it's a pain to get off. Yeah, or it just I don't even know if you get it off. Yeah. It just kind of is there.
I was like, let's just do them gloss, see how I like them.
Yeah.
It was either gloss or white. They're too big to be white, in my opinion. And just, I don't know.
It looks great.
It worked out.
You got the factory center cap on there, or factory hubcap.
Factory caps. And then on the front, I ended up doing like QA1 coilovers and stuff.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Just to dial it in exactly how I wanted it.
Yeah. Did you do anything to your inner fenders to get it that low with those big wheels?
Yeah, I made my own inner fenders, and
Very cool.
Kicked my butt 1,000,000 times. I was just stubborn. I'm like, people make them. Let's make my own. I wish 1,000,000 times I would have got some slosh tubs.
Yes.
Like I've used his stuff. They're awesome. They work great. I was just being stubborn. I wanted to try it and just
you got the skills too. I mean, you have fabrication skills. I mean, you made your own flip kit. I mean, you got to be able to, have some skills, some fab skills to do that. We threw some slosh tubs in this OBS. I've got out here this now on a full QA1 kit, and I didn't do the install per se. Pat's guys did it while we were all in shop, and they did a super clean install. But my gosh, did it make a difference in how low we can get that front.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's like the wheel back spacing is where my issue is, not that the truck's, the wheel and tire is too tall and it's hitting that factory inner fender. So yeah, what Mike is doing, making slosh tubs, obviously he's had a very successful business for a long time doing that, and it does make a difference.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, there's something to be said. Yours are metal, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're metal.
Yeah. There's got to be something. There's something to be said for having metal tubs, also.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell you what. The biggest advantage to me was just to say that I did them.
Yeah.
And the way that you'll see it, the way that I did them, like I incorporated it into the inner structure, and like I body worked it and smoothed it and painted them all satin black and bead rolled them and everything. So they look unique.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. I was trying to be unique in a weird place. I don't know.
Well, I think that's a vehicle that it would have paid off on. I mean, that's a nice Blazer.
Yeah.
The Keepin It Classic podcast is brought to you by Sweet Patina, where you can get your patina care products and professional level paint products all in one place at sweetpatina.com. And by Automotive Direct, where you can get all your sheet metal for your classic car or truck, interior parts, and other goodies at autometaldirect.com. More than metal. And by Tinworks Fabrication, where you'll find quality GM suspension components made right here in the USA with quality and passion for the hobby and the community. Check out tinworksfabrication.com to get all your GM truck suspension components today. And by Custom Coaters ATL, your Metro Atlanta source for powder coating, ceramic, media blast. Head over to customcoatersatl.com and get all your coating needs at Custom Coaters ATL. I haven't fully looked it over. I've only really seen it online. I think I may have seen it in person one time.
Yeah, we see Tim's in the city. We seen each other from like 50 feet away, and then you were so stinking busy. And
it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But I kind of save, especially, I'm marking vehicles and I'm marking people in my head that I want to talk to. I'm like, well, I'm not going to go over there and film that because I want to do a full profile on the vehicle, and I want to talk to you, with all the specifics about it. So I'm so glad we're getting to do that today. Real quick, what is the drivetrain in that Blazer?
It's a 5.3 4L60.
Yeah,
just
good run of the mill.
Yeah, my neighbor Eric at Queen City Speed, he spec'd out a cam, he spec'd out a converter, he tuned it. It's got 243 heads that we worked over.
Oh,
and stuff.
Nice.
TBSS intake, like just little touches.
Yeah.
Sweating the small stuff, but not going overboard with it.
Yeah. Did y'all do a video on the fuel system for this Blazer on your channel?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you did, which Best Damn Shop Around is your channel. Like I said, we're going to get there. But you've got all sorts of great videos on there. So people should go check it out. I'll leave a link down in the description. But I want to keep talking about your journey to sort of all of this. And so do you remember the first classic vehicle you ever had?
The first one I ever had, okay, there's kind of a winding story with that. The first, I was
wax and wane, baby. Let's hear it.
When I was, I think, 14-ish, my dad bought me an 81 Z28 Camaro.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a roller.
Yeah.
And I did the classic thing. I made the mistake. I'm going to tear it down and restore it.
Dude, I made that mistake like just this year.
Over my head. Long story short, I got about halfway through it and just stopped and ended up selling it to a friend of mine where he finished it.
Yep.
So I don't, as much as that was technically my first car, I never drove it.
Yep.
My first classic car would oddly enough be a 77 Chevy Love.
Yeah, dude, great truck.
I got it from my grandfather. Like I said, he buys and sells cars.
Yeah.
He bought this one at auction and it had a dead battery. You know, and he bought it for like $200 or $300.
Because I had a dead battery.
Yeah. And he was just like, I'll score. So he gets it home, puts a battery in it, and realizes it also had a rod out the side of the block.
Oh, okay. That might be why it was $200.
Yeah. He looked and looked, tried to find a motor, couldn't find one, and was going to take it to scrap. And if you know those trucks, they're unique. They got a lot of cool styling about them.
Sure.
Hey, Pop, look, let me give you scrap for it. And I ended up getting it. I bought a 2001 Vortec V6 S10 with a 5-speed.
Yep.
And I put that motor and trans in it. And that was the first time I had put motor swaps and things like for other people, friends and whatnot. That was the first time I'd done a swap that there was 0 parts available.
Yeah.
I made my own mounts, my own radiator, my own everything.
And what year? I mean, how old were you think?
17, 18.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm over here just doing lowering kits, and you're like, I'm going to swap this into my truck and make the
so
mounts.
That was my first. I think that was my first classic. Yeah. I've never thought about that.
Yeah. What did you have after that? What are some of the highlights of classics that you've owned and maybe still own today?
Yeah. Well, I hate to admit how many classics.
Oh, dude, you can on this. This is the I'm a classic car and truck addiction podcast. This is we don't do interventions here. We embrace it.
This is a safe space.
It's a
because
safe space.
I have a saying that I can own as many cars as I am years old.
Okay, honey.
And
I like this rule.
Let's just say I'm up to that number.
I like that. Are you really?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that is awesome. How old are you?
38.
38. That's what I was thinking in my head.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 42. Just turned 42. So
you got some more cars.
I need to quit selling things and buy some more. Is what it sounds like.
I've had a bunch, and I'm not a flipper per se. I like to build things. I know I can't own everything at one time. Can't do it. I can't do it financially.
No, I can't do it.
So I'll build one. I'll enjoy it. I'll get some good photos of it, and then I'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And so
that's not a flipper. That's a builder to me.
Yeah. I've had some like 63 Riviera. Like I'm also big into cars. 63 Riviera, Boattail Riviera, 71. I've had bunch of classic trucks. I've had some oddball JDM cars. I've had a bunch of that's kind of where I grew up.
Well, and I keep talking about the YouTube stuff and the classic stuff, but you're a drifter. You're a motorsports guy, pretty dang heavy.
Yeah.
It's so much so that I probably don't even know to what extent. So I want to get into that too.
Yeah.
So let's jump into that right after this classic car and truck review here.
So I've had a bunch of stuff, and I have a lot of of my 30-something cars. A lot of them are parts cars.
Yeah.
A lot of them are donor things.
As every good car guy should be.
Yeah, you got to have extra parts.
Yeah.
So like the highlights of the stuff I currently have is obviously the Blazer we talked about.
Yep.
I have a 59 F100.
Ooh, fridge truck. Yeah.
That I built on the channel, and it was really cool. It was my first big build on the channel. I built this whole truck for $3,000.
Wow.
Total, all in, $3,000.
Including buying the truck?
Including buying the truck and the 2010 Crown Victoria Police Interceptor chassis that's under it.
Wow.
I bought the truck for $300. It was going to scrap. It was at a record yard, and it was rough. I mean, it was rough as a night in jail. I'm talking about bad. Then I bought a Crown Vic.
Rough as a night in jail. That's a great podcast title. We got to mark that. That's a good one.
And then I bought the Crown Vic. It was a decommissioned Hall County car that had some body damage, and I think I paid $800 for the Crown Vic, $300 for the truck. I bought a F350 rear seat for $300, like a King Ranch with a fold-down armrest, cup holders.
Nice seat then.
I bought a pair of tires for the front, and that was kind of it. I did it just to show that it can be done. I built it all in for $3,000, and then after I made it run and drive, I put some carpet and stereo and made it
some
better.
Niceties.
So, I've got 300, 400 hours in it.
Yeah.
But cash, now to date, I probably only have maybe 5 in it.
Yeah.
And I've driven that thing everywhere.
That is so cool. That's a truck I don't know that I've. Is it white?
White.
Yeah,
patina.
maybe I have seen this. Okay.
Yeah. And when I built it, I kind of sort of body dropped it.
Yeah.
I channeled it down till it's tuck and wheel front and rear.
Yeah.
But the chassis stock height, so it rides
like a stock.
Rides
Crown
perfect.
Vic. Yeah. What wheels and tires you got on that?
Just the stock Crown Vic.
Yeah.
Because they're steelies and caps. It fits the classic. I'm a big hubcap guy too.
Yeah.
Big hubcap guy.
Yeah, gotta have hubcaps.
Yes. Yeah. So it works. It fits the style and it does its thing. So I've got that. I've got a 53 Buick Special that I bought my grandfather. His favorite, he's still alive, still doing great, 97 years old.
Wow.
His favorite car of all time was 53 Buick. So I bought one so him and I can go enjoy it. So I've got that. I've got his old 85 Silverado.
Yeah.
Short bed fleet side. What else do I got? Oh, obviously we kind of touched on it. I've got a 61 unibody.
Yeah.
That I'm going to start on next year.
What have you and Andrew worked on that truck a little bit, right?
We got it running. Yeah. Just to see if it did.
Because it had, a 302 out of maybe a Mustang or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was like a
Did
70.
It run? I want to say that it did.
It actually run. It sit there, and I got it to sit there and idle, and it did the thing. And it's got I don't speak Ford well. I like
Me either.
The C4 trans, maybe.
Yeah, which is an automatic trans.
And it'll pull into gear and start pulling itself.
Man, I didn't realize that is that a C4, is that an overdrive trans or is that a 3-speed?
I would be lying if I tried to.
I don't even know either.
I think it's
some Ford guy let us know down in the comments.
Yeah, it was just their non-overdrive 3-speed thing.
Okay, so not an overdrive trans. Yeah.
And I stopped there because I have a vision in my head what I want it to be, and so I've been kind of collecting parts along the way to get it exactly the way I want it.
Man, I'm so glad you still have that truck and see it for as special as it is. I mean, it had rusty floors, if I remember correctly, and then maybe some other little spots of rust. But other than that, I mean, it's OG black paint. Yep. It's 61, is that right? Is that first year? 61, 63? It's either 60. Yeah, because 60 is still fridge style. So only first year unibody, only made them for a couple years. Got all that cool aircraft, industrial kind of instrumentation on the inside. That's the one truck I wish I would have never sold. I would love to have that truck back. Right. Maybe not if you get done with it, but I'm really glad you still have that truck.
Yeah. That one's going to be
and appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah, we talked about. I love patina, OG paint stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah,
and that one caught my eye. Being a unibody, but we already hate all that stuff. Yeah. But you and I've talked before, having that vision. You can see this rusty square body Suburban, and you just know how cool that could
Yes.
be. And when I saw you, actually, the first time I saw it was in your video.
Yeah.
And it was sitting outside of your buddy's
Yeah.
little small shop.
Yep.
And I remember seeing it. I was like, man,
That's cool.
So cool.
They
And then you
are
made
so
that post saying, hey, I'm thinning the herd. And I hit you up immediately. I'm like, hey.
You sure did.
Let's make a deal.
I'm so glad you did, because those are, you never know where trucks are going to go. And I did sell quite a few out of that, out of my little stash. And some of them, I don't know where they are now. I don't know anything about them. But that one in particular, I was like, this is one I hope goes to a good home, and I hope it goes to somebody who appreciates it.
Well, I'm hoping I'm gonna make you proud on it.
Oh, you're already making me proud. You still have it. That makes me proud.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna see it through. I know, like, it seemed like that truck's changed hands a few times.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see it through. It's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea when it's done.
Yeah.
Mainly the train's gonna make some people mad, but whatever.
Are you willing to share what you want to put in it?
Yeah, I'm gonna put an LS in it.
Oh yeah, dude, do it.
Yeah, I got
that will make you drive it.
I traded with a buddy of mine, and I've got a 5.3 with a Truck Norris kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's got an NV 3500.
Oh, that's cool. So 5-speed. Yeah.
So
like an OBS style truck. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, that truck's it's sportier being a unibody, and I feel like it's got more like that muscle truck feel.
100%.
So I'm gonna do like 15x8s, 15x10s, narrowed rear end, and hammered.
Yes.
With the cammed 5.3, but I'm gonna do the 5.3 to look like a Y block.
Yeah. Oh man.
So paint it blue, put the Y block valve covers on it, and
is there somebody making adapters for that?
There is.
Yeah.
Delmo makes them.
Okay.
And then there's another machine company on eBay that makes them.
Very
Bolt
cool.
on.
Dude, that's going to be so rad.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I'm torn on what to do. I really want to do a Scott's.
Yeah.
Scott's front end under it, because their stuff is just so stinking nice.
Yeah.
And so
and it would fit perfectly in an F100. I mean, like that's kind of what when I think of customizing an F100. I mean, you can go Porterbuilt, you can do all that kind of stuff, but I think Scott's when I think of F100 suspension, Mustang 2 type stuff, but better, obviously, way better.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of front ends. I've done Fat Man, Heights, TCI, all your like classic hot rod front ends, the Speedway stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of Mustang. It works. It serves its purpose.
Sure.
But the Scott stuff is just different. It's not Mustang 2 based.
Yeah. Oh, it's not. Okay, I didn't realize.
Yeah, no, it's not Mustang 2 based. It's their own control arms, their own spindles, and it works better.
That makes sense.
And the guys are also really nice
and they're in Knoxville now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went up to them at a show and told them what I wanted to do. I was like, hey, I want this thing static, but I want it to look like it's aired out.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, no problem.
Dude.
They said, we'll do you a custom cross member, for the raised ride height. And,
dude. Man, right guy to get the F100. Do you even remember that truck, Sarah? Yeah. What a bad little truck that thing is. Well, I thought it was just a great foundation to build something out of. And when you get it done, come on back. What's in my driveway? I want to ride in this thing.
I'll throw you the keys. You can drive it.
I don't
care.
That is one thing that I don't do very much. I don't drive other people's vehicles very much. I'm not a great driver. I don't race vehicles or anything like that, even though I got a helmet over here that looks like I might. And I'm always worried I'm going to mess something up. And even if I do drive it, I'm just going to putt around in it.
Right.
So I'm like, how about you drive it and really show me what this thing can do?
Yeah, we can do that too. And I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people, like, with my motorsports background, like, hey, go drive my car, see what you think
tell me
about
what
it.
You think about it.
What could it, and if I drive anyone's stuff, I don't even care if it's on a racetrack. I'm driving 80%.
Yeah.
Because I would feel, even if they told me to break it, whatever, I would feel so bad if I tore someone's stuff
I'm with
up.
you, man.
So I'll go beat on the 80%, which is probably 50% harder than they would.
Yeah, right.
And we still go have a good time because I don't want to tear someone else's stuff up.
I don't blame you, man. I don't want to wreck it is my thing.
Yeah.
Even if I, mess the trans up or something like that, that's cool. We could figure that out. We can work our way around that one. But I go crash somebody's vehicle into some wall or some other car.
Yeah.
You start messing with body parts, especially on patina stuff. Like I guess that's my mindset.
My goodness, yeah.
It's because I'm always thinking about patina or original paint, or that's mostly what I'm driving in a lot of respects, and I get concerned.
Yeah,
that I'm going to mess up a body panel.
I get it. I would feel so bad. I built a truck for a friend of mine, 67 C10. It's on a chassis with LS3, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And Eric was tuning it for me, and he was like, "All right, hit it." So I hit it, and he was like, "That was like 80% throttle." I'm like,
dude.
Oops. I don't know. I don't like beating on other ones.
Yeah.
But getting on the 575 today, I had that thing on the mat. It's
Yeah.
mine, whatever.
Heck yeah, man.
But I don't like beating on others.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want someone to tear my stuff up.
Well, speaking of beating on stuff, talk to me a little bit about this drifting. When did you get into all that, and what is your main drift car? Because I think it's a cool car.
Yeah. So, man, that's another winding story.
Let's hear it.
Hanging out with a bunch of buddies, and they were into anime.
Yes, yeah, like Japanese
cartoons.
Yeah.
And I didn't really care for it personally, but one day they had Initial D, which was an anime about drifting.
Okay. I've actually heard of this before. I didn't realize it was an anime about drifting, but I've heard of Initial D.
Initial D. It's iconic in the JDM world.
Okay.
I saw that. I'm like, oh, wow. That's really – you can do that with a car? Because I didn't mention my other grandfather. He was a circle track dirt circle track guy.
Oval guy.
Yeah. And then when I started driving, my first real car was a Honda Civic. And I put coilovers and I put a GSR swap in it.
You were all of my friends in high school. I was driving around a little mini truck, and I've said this a million times. Me and Shane, my buddy, were the only two little truck guys. We had mini trucks, and then all our buddies had Civic SIs, Preludes with nitrous and superchargers and all that. Yeah. And I loved it. I mean,
I couldn't afford to go real racing.
Yeah.
So I built that little Civic, and I was doing my little autocross thing, and I was having fun with it, going to SCCA things and being pretty successful with it. But it never really scratched the itch. I still had I want to do something more with it. So I saw drifting. Oh, this is neat. We go to some local little grassroots event.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is obtainable. You can go out here and have a lot of fun for not a lot of money at the grassroots level.
Yeah.
Rolled around to 06. I bought my first drift car.
06. So that is almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No, almost 20 years ago. Sorry.
I graduated high school in 06. I graduated on whatever week it was.
Yeah.
The following Thursday after my graduation, I bought my first drift car, and that Saturday I took it to my first event.
Wow.
Because my parents were like, hey, I don't want motorsports to get in the way of school, whatever. And I understand. Okay, cool. I mean, the week after, I bought my first.
Now it's in the way.
I bought my first one, and it was all downhill from there. So I learned back when they had it at Turner Field.
Yeah.
Right where the C10s in the city is.
Down. Would it have been down there? Where Fulton County Stadium.
The early events before I was into it were down there. The events when I was into it was in the lot we were in this year.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah. So we drifted that lot, and
That's so rad.
Yeah, I built some cars. I had a lot of fun. I competed. I did pro-am. I had a lot of fun with it. And I'm still to this day, I'm an instructor. I do driving instructing, drifting instructing, different kinds of motorsports.
What I didn't ask you before, as part of sort of your journey to where you are, do you have any trade school, college certification? Do you have any of that, or is it all just hands-on?
I do. I went to Lanier Tech
and
did their motorsports vehicle technology program.
Jeremy Santana, I believe, was talking from Redemptive Motorsports, was talking to me about that program and talking very highly about that program.
Oh, yeah.
Is it still around?
It is, and it has grown exponentially.
Yeah.
When I went there, we were in basically the broom closet in the back. We were like the outcasts.
Yes.
But we really had this teacher, John Glimmerveen, English dude, super knowledgeable. We had Dan Elliott, Bill Elliott's brother, was one of the teachers. And then, why am I blanking on the head guy? Bud Hughes.
Yeah.
And they were all just wealth of knowledge. And I learned more from talking to them in casual conversation than I did the classes.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I was working for a race team. I was working for a BMW and Porsche race team.
Wow.
Called Kinetic Motorsports out of Buford.
Yeah.
And so I was already kind of ahead of most people.
Yeah.
So they connected to me more.
Yeah.
So when we be on break, instead of we're in basic wiring classes, we were discussing solid state relays.
Yeah.
And those dudes they helped me out a lot. It was a good program.
Well, I'm going to divert and digress here. How did you get on this race team, and what were you doing on this race team?
So that's a good question. Okay. I started out, I worked with a buddy of mine, helping. I had a body shop.
Yeah.
So I was helping there at the body shop. Then I got hired on doing full-time body work for the race team.
Yeah.
And they needed what we call the gopher, right?
Yeah.
The track gopher, go for this, go for that. And I went from that to having more responsibilities on the team, helping with tires and fuel and whatnot.
Yeah. Where were you racing?
So that was that company had a bunch of different aspects. They ran the what was it called at the time? It's not even a series anymore, but it was like E46 M3s.
Yeah.
They had 996 and 997 GT3 cars.
Yeah.
And then they also had a rental program where if you wanted to go race in the series, they'd supply a car, arrive and drive.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they would let an 18-year-old. I was driving a F350 with a 40-foot gooseneck at 18 years old with two 997 Cup cars in it. And I was driving it back and forth to the track.
Dude, they just threw you to the wolves. Were you going to like Road Atlanta and stuff?
I would go to all the local tracks.
Yeah.
And when they went way out west, I'd stay back because half the time I worked there, I was still in high school.
Yep.
And so Barber, we did Sebring, Road Atlanta, Roebling. So I went to all like the local stuff.
I've yet to go to Barber. I really want to go.
Barber School.
Yeah, I've always heard
the
that.
museum. So
yeah, I've always heard that too.
Yeah. So I did that and had a lot of fun. Got to drive a lot of way over my head cars.
Including an F350 with a 40-foot gooseneck.
Oh, yeah. Well, they would send me – one of the best stories is – you ever heard of a Radical?
Mm-mm.
It's this tube frame mini open cockpit race car.
Okay.
And they had GSXR 1300 engines in them.
Whoa, okay.
Sequentials, like violently fast little cars.
Yeah.
I was, like I said, 17 or 18. They sent me down to the Atlanta airport to customs. They said, hey, we got one of these coming in. Go pick it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I had to be at the airport at like 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. I get back to the shop. A buddy of mine helped me come unload it. I back it off the truck, and I don't know what got into me. I was like, I want to drive this thing. So where the shop was at Lake Lanier Island, so right up from it.
Yeah.
By the time I get back to the shop, it's Saturday morning, maybe 9 o'clock. I'm going down the road in this thing, like banging, sequential, just banging gears.
No kidding.
I go down, I turn around, about 3 circles, come back up, and I park it, and I clean it all up. I clean all the rubber off of it and everything. And the owner, I remember I was walking into the break room, and I was like, hey, thanks for picking that up. And I was like, yeah. He's like, it's weird. I guess they must have test drove this one. I was like, oh, they must have.
You've been running it up and down the road, getting a little tax on it. You know?
Yeah.
Was that so I've never driven a sequential at 42 years old. Was that the first time, or I guess that would that have been your first exposure to all that?
That was my first and only time driving a sequential.
No kidding.
And it was wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, exactly what you think it is. Because it's the gearbox from a street bike, right?
Yeah.
And they just work so well. And it was so violently fast, and I was so over my head. Yeah. Just
blowing
banging
right
gears and, on a public road, I was an idiot. On a public road, I didn't even think twice about it.
Yeah, but now you get to tell it 20 years later on this podcast about how cool that was.
There's so many. There's I don't know what statute of limitations on some of the stuff I've done, but
right.
we've had a lot of fun.
Well, you end up doing that, gaining a ton of experience in all sorts of ways, to becoming an instructor, a drift instructor. Mm-hmm. How do you become a drift instructor?
You have to have nerves of steel.
Yeah.
Because you're getting in with people that I've got in with people who've never driven straight shift before.
Yeah. Wow.
And we have different classes.
I've at least done that.
Yeah. We have different classes. You have the people that are very green and have never done a circle, right? So we'll go and teach those people like how to drift around a cone. And then when they get better, we'll do 2 cones, doing figure eights. And we just have a track set up, and they'll go out there and one turn at a time until they're able to link them all together.
What kind of vehicle are you starting them out in? In their own vehicle?
They bring their own cars.
Yeah.
They bring their own cars, and it's really neat. Being an instructor, a lot of times people are like, hey, drive my car and make sure you think it's either safe or set up correctly or enough power or whatever. I've had the opportunity. I've driven almost every single drift car.
Yeah.
All your JDM stuff, a lot of American Camaros, Challengers, all the Mustangs.
Yeah.
So I've had the opportunity to drive a lot, right-hand drive.
What do you think is the best for a beginner?
Man,
all your bias, give it to me.
I'm going to tell you, it's the best, not just because I own it, because it is the best drift car for not only for the dollar, but for the minimal amount of modifications you have to make is a C5 Corvette.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I took a C5. Now at this point, I've been drifting a long time. I took a C5 Corvette. I modified the stock knuckles, put a bucket seat, an inline hydraulic handbrake.
Yeah.
I left the stock leaf springs on it.
Yeah.
And I went out and I won our local championship. in
cool.
a basically stock car.
Yeah.
You know, now granted, it was a tire limited class.
Yeah.
It was just like a spec tire class. But I went out there and I was tearing up people in these JDM cars with big turbos and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because the cars are just so well balanced. I say they're factory LS swapped.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
they work.
They got the original LS in it, in fact.
They flat work. Outside of the Corvettes, the BMW E46 and E36, and then the S13s and 14s.
Yeah.
Those are going to be your core staple. You can drift anything that's rear-wheel drive. It's how much effort do you want to put into it.
Yeah.
You know, I got a buddy that's building a Volvo station wagon to drift.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be so neat.
Dude, I love wagons.
But he has reinvented the wheel.
Import wagons are my
thing.
favorite, especially German wagons like Audis and Mercedes and stuff like that. They are so freaking rad.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just cool looking cars. Drifting, I have no idea how that's going to go, but they just look awesome, especially when they got a little coilover stance on them, man. Some nice tuner wheel. I call them tuner wheels, but nice, performance style wheels.
I think that's one of the reasons you and I can get along so well is because you, just like myself, can appreciate anything.
Oh my gosh! Especially if it's got the right stance and wheels and tires on it. I mean, you can anything.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care
outside
what
of a squatted truck.
Oh, totally. That's not the right stance or wheels and tires.
Like, I love lowriders. I love mini
man.
trucks. Me
too.
I love A models. I mean, one of my dream cars is a 32 Ford.
Yeah, when you said it in that Rod Run video, I thought mine too. And then you were looking at a 55 Bel Air, which that car in particular is one of my dream cars. That coral color with the gray top. I mean,
they're so good.
Oh my gosh.
Tri-5s are so good.
They're so good.
And you can do them any way. Like, they look cool.
Yeah, that was a patina one, in fact, which was so killer.
Slick paint. I love gassers. Like a 56 gasser is so sweet with radius fender wells and the colored side glass. And oh, my goodness. Yeah.
You like Blasphemy?
Oh, yeah. That thing's so good. So good.
It's such a killer.
The only thing I don't like about it is not mine.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. That was probably one of our coolest experiences on the podcast because it happened so recently. I'll mention it here, but Mike sat right there where you are and talked about Blasphemy and, you know, all the drag and drive stuff. And that's just such a cool car. He's done such a cool thing with it. I think he's just recently got his fastest time he's ever gotten in it and has broken it so many times and is doing it with a cool drivetrain.
Yeah.
So it's like Ford LS, Hemi, Chevy, whatever.
It's a cool car. That's on my bucket list too, is eventually I'm going to have a gasser. Yeah. I want to have, like I said, you enjoy something, take some good photos, move on. I want a gasser at some point. I want to early Ford at some point. I've had a bad station wagon itch lately.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
I mean, as much as my girlfriend hates it, I've had an El Camino itch lately.
Oh, man. Sarah right here wants an El Camino, and she's got my daughter wanting one. I'm an El Camino fan. I'm not going to get into the truck argument. I mean, they got a bed, but they are they are one of my favorite muscle cars.
Yeah, I don't care what you call it. They're cool.
They are so cool.
To me, a 60. Like a 60 Elco.
Yeah, with the fins. Oh, dude, you can't 5960. You can't beat those cars.
And then even like the early, like the 65, I like Chevelle body stuff.
That's what I like too.
Yeah.
I can appreciate 69, 70, 71, 72. Like my uncle had one. That's the first. I always say that's the first cam swap I ever did was in his 72 with a little 350. But I'm a 65, 66, 67 guy.
Right.
I love that smaller, earlier. I mean, I guess 67 they got a little bigger, but 65, 66 that's a pretty small car still.
It is,
and they look awesome. I love how good they look. But a 5960, I think in any GM car, that era of GM car, whether it's a Bel Air or a
GM was showing out.
Oh my god!
59, there's not a bad car.
Yeah, there's not a bad truck.
No, all the trucks. I mean, my personal all-time favorite GM is the GM truck is the 58.9 GMC.
Yes. Yeah.
All the extra chromes and the big emblems.
Quad headlights, dual headlights on each side.
God. Big back windows. The first fleet sides. You know.
Yes.
I love. I've actually got one that's basically a skeleton, but that's a one day.
Yeah, I've got a 59 that I have.
I know. I'm jealous.
Put up. That's not one for sale.
I know. I've seen it.
One day I'll get to that. It'll be a full build truck. But yeah, I think this is why we're friends. We have this appreciation for these kinds
same disease.
Yeah, exact same disease. You're a little more skilled, a lot more skilled than I am. I wouldn't even know how to paint. The only thing I've ever painted was I tried to patina a fender one time with a real actual paint gun, and it turned out fine. But I've never painted anything. I've never done body work. I don't know anything about all. I know it sucks.
It's
like
labor,
the body work.
It's labor intensive, but it's not. And this is what I tell people: painting is not hard.
Yeah,
painting is easy. Pick the gun up, you spray.
Yeah,
I've had people that I had a girl that apprenticed under me.
Yeah.
The third thing she ever painted was just as slick as I could do.
No kidding.
The painting is easy. It's the problem solving.
Yeah.
If you have an issue or it's not acting right or something pops up, being able to adapt and overcome to that, that's the hard part.
And the prep, right?
And the prep, because 90% of what you see is a reflection of what's underneath.
Yeah.
So if the bodywork's not slick, if the gaps aren't right, if you have pinholes, whatever, it's going to show through the paint. You can have the slickest paint in the world and you have crappy bodywork. It's going to look crappy.
Yeah.
This is the way it is. But painting, I could teach you to paint in a day. But we
might have to try that.
It's the problem solving. Same thing with welding.
Yeah.
I could set my welder, and if someone didn't know how to weld, give me 2 hours, and I could have you laying dimes.
Yeah.
But if I crank those dials and walk away, that's where the problem solving comes into. Or hey, we're going to weld 1/8 to 3/16.
Yeah.
Like figure that out. Like it's where this experience comes from.
Yeah.
None of it's hard.
Yeah.
It just takes back. I have all the time. People on my channel, they'll put comments like, man, I wish I had those talents, or, oh, you're so, like, how do you know? It's just, I've messed a lot of stuff up.
Yeah.
I've had to repaint things 2 or 3 times. I've had to cut stuff apart and re-weld it because it broke or it didn't look good or whatever. Being able to accept your failure, learn from it, and grow. Yeah. That's where the skills come from.
Yeah. I love hearing you say that, man. That's so cool. I mean, even just on the video side, which is a totally different type of skill, but I've messed up so many things, the audio, editing, learning how to do all that stuff. I mean, but I've wanted to invest in that skill, and so I've gotten decent at it. You've wanted to invest in those skills, painting and welding and fab and all that kind of stuff, and you've gotten decent or great at it, whatever.
And having a good community around you.
Yeah.
Like as far as the paint body stuff, I had my dad to bounce questions off of. Some of his friends are very good, talented painters. I've bounced questions and ideas. Even
Does your dad help you at the shop sometimes? I feel like I've been over there and he was there.
His shop's next door.
Okay. So he's doing his own thing.
He's doing his own thing.
Okay.
So he has, like I said, he works for that guy and does restoration stuff, but he also has a shop there that he fixes bumpers for his buddies.
Yeah.
Just kind of piddles. I call it like semi-retired.
Yeah. Old man hot rod.
Yeah. He's the kind of person just like myself. I'm never going to be to stop working.
Yeah.
I've got to stay busy. You got to keep your mind sharp and your body as sharp as you can.
Yep.
And you just have to stay active. So that's what he's doing.
Yeah. But, that's super cool.
Having a good community around you, like when I come into fab work stuff, I've got some buddies that are just over the moon good.
Yeah.
And they're all open books. Hey, man.
That's the way it should be.
I have my buddy Patch out of Augusta. I'll ask him questions. I have Mark McDonald. Hey, what do you think about what filler rod? They're so supportive of other. You have a lot of people that like want to pigeonhole the trade secrets and gatekeep. And I'm like,
who's going to learn from that?
Let's all come up together.
Yeah.
Like one of my buddies, I mentioned my buddy Mark. He's one of the best fabricators I know. He's in Mooresville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
If I need something welded, I'm not driving up there. No. I'd be like, hey, Mark, what filler rod and what, and then he helps me out. So that's one of the things I love the most about the classic car community, at least the one that I'm in.
Yeah.
Everyone is so supportive.
Yeah. And I agree with that.
That's one of the things that I've really tried to push on my channel is if you have any questions, message me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not hiding any. What size tires? What filler rod? What paint code?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
That's how I operate too. I think I don't want to do this alone. I want to have fun with my friends and like-minded people and learn what I can from them and them from me in some way. Right. And it is, it's always fun, more fun in my view, to do it with someone else who's got the same kind of goals and mission in mind.
When I did that Blazer, it was a long-term project because I have project ADD.
Oh yeah.
So I got to a point, like I started it, and like the first hurdle was the 2-wheel drive stuff. And then I kind of got burnt out on it. I'm like, put it aside. I built a whole nother. And then I do the next thing, put it aside. That being said, the 2-wheel drive part of it, when I stopped, I had so many people, man, this is such great inspiration. I thought we could do that, but I wasn't sure. Hey, can you send me a template of these bolt patterns? Can you give me and I'm out there like, I can walk over there for 5 minutes because I want this community to grow. Like if you need a little bit of help that I may not have included in the video, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I can see, and I hate to say this, I can see the community starting to kind of nose off.
Yeah.
There's not as many new young kids getting into it.
I agree.
And I'm trying my best. Like, anyone's got anything, let's all come up together. Let's keep the community going.
For sure.
You know, on the truck side, on the motorsports side, there's a 14-year-old girl from Alabama that came up and was asking me some drift stuff. Now her dad and I, we talk all the time. She's building a car, asking me questions. Like, I'm an open book.
Yeah,
anything
I love
you
that.
want to know.
I think that's why you are as successful as you are, whether it be on building client stuff, building your own stuff, YouTube stuff, drifting. You got a great personality. You're a very kind person. Like I said, you've always made me feel that way for as long as I've known you. Even when I go over to Alex's and we're messing around, you're always coming over saying what's up and just you know checking out stuff. And
well, that's what it's about.
It is.
You know, it's about the community. You know, I'm lucky because I have Alex right there. If I've got questions, Eric's helped me countless times. He's a wiring and plumbing master.
Yes, he is.
Hey, man, I know you're doing something really important right now, but what size fuse should I put in this? You know, and he's like, 30, whatever, you know.
Just right off top of his head.
Yeah, also an open book, which, you know, that just like fires me up. Like, okay, cool, we can get this done and then, you know, move on.
Absolutely. I want to jump back to drifting really quickly. And if you don't mind, can you pull that mic toward you just a tad? There you go.
There we go.
The car that you drift in, we've already established it's a Corvette. Just real quick for folks at home who might be interested, what's the setup on that car?
The setup's as basic as you can get. It has a cage for safety.
Yep.
Inline hydraulic handbrake, bucket seat. It has, like I said, modified stock knuckles. Aren't optimal, but I like the way they feel.
Yeah.
And coilovers.
Yeah.
It's got a radiator to help with cooling. Eric tuned it to turn the fans on earlier for cooling. And that's all it's got. It's
a stock LS1?
LS1. It's got 190,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
All stock, everything. And it flat works.
Yeah. I've seen videos of you just giving this thing all it's got.
We took it up to VIR last year, and I mean, it'll drift 80, 90 miles an hour. I mean, it is a great car. I actually have another drift car. I have a Mustang as well. It's kind of like, it's the 180 horsepower party car that if you're out there and you bump one of your buddies a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
You know.
Is it an SN95?
SN95. Yeah. I have one, and my girlfriend has one, and they're identical, other than hers has some better parts. And we'll go out there, and her and I, she's very talented. And
she drifts also?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's one of the best in our local scene.
No kidding.
Yeah. So
what is her name?
Amber Berryman. Amber Drifts.
Amber Drifts.
You want to check her out on Instagram. But yeah, she'll go out there and, you know, we'll be rubbing quarter panels and stuff. And because it's so much fun. Drifting is cool because there's no spec car. You can bring whatever you want. There's people that bring pickup trucks. There's people that bring whatever, right?
Yeah.
But when you have two cars that are nearly identical and you're both driving flat out, it's so much easier to drive together. And then all your movements are similar. Ours have the same angle kits, the same gear, the same everything.
Wow.
And because I originally had her car when it was mine, I got her into it, so she said, go find something else. This is my car now.
I like this.
She flat took that one over.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. Well, I've been wanting a Corvette, so I bought one.
Yeah.
Well, then the Corvette is so much faster that it was hard for me to drive slow enough because there's so much mechanical grip in those. It was hard for me to drive slow enough for her to keep up. And then when I would get behind her, it was hard to drive slow behind her. I ended up just building
an identical car.
I built an identical car for my buddy. His kids got older, so he was doing more stuff with his kids, so I bought it from him, and they're
very cool. So are they 5.0 cars or 4.6 cars?
4.6.
Yeah.
So mine's a stock. Hers has a PI swap.
Okay.
And the better in, I don't know, whatever, the 3660 trans or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know too much about those. I like Fox bodies a lot. Just because I just like the way they look.
I would rather have a Fox body drift car because they're the same platform and they're lighter. Yeah. They're just more expensive.
Yeah, they sure are.
Both of those cars were bought for less than $1,500, salvage, V8, 5-speed, rear drive, factory limited slip.
Ready to drift.
You know,
and we got a trailer. Drifting.
Yeah, and we got a trailer. So it doesn't matter if it has a clean title or not.
Right.
And most likely going to wreck them anyway. Right. So I have a way home. So, you know, all in, those cars probably have less than $6,000 a piece in them.
Yeah.
And they turn countless laps.
Wow.
I mean, lap after lap. They're easy on tire because they don't make a lot of power.
Yeah.
We can run doors so you can get all your transition timing like really nailed down.
Yeah.
And they're great.
How much of drifting and that type of motorsports do you think comes down to driver versus car?
I would say it's probably 70% driver.
Okay.
Because you could take, I could put you in my Corvette and you may not be able to do a figure eight.
Oh no, I guarantee you I can't.
Right. Yeah. And then I've went out to VIR and ran the whole Patriot course.
Yeah.
So it's driver has so much to do with it. And man, there's and I see.
I know that's a very like open-ended.
No, I like it though.
But I want to. Yeah, I'm trying to see what it might uncover around, an inexperienced driver in a car that maybe has too much power for the inexperience, and an experienced driver who may have an underpowered car but can, because of the experience, make it do more of what it wants.
And you just hit on exactly what I wanted to say. When someone wants to get into drifting, I tell them, get something that has 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
If you have to use the car's weight and momentum, you're going to become a more dynamic, diverse driver.
Yes.
If you go out there, and I see so many, and I also see it in this like pro autocross truck thing that everyone's doing.
Yep.
They'll have these like crazy overbuilt cars, and they go out there, and you can spin the tires and you can run way wide, but you're not where you need to be, and you're not doing it correctly.
Yeah.
Whereas if you start with something that can just barely do it to begin with, then you learn control, like true vehicle control. Then when you go to that like pro level car, it's so much easier to drive.
So do you think having experience in autocross is a benefit to drifting?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they help each other.
Yeah.
Because learning autocross, I learned where what we call like the edge of the tire is.
Yeah.
Where's the breaking point? You want to keep it right there on the edge of sliding, but not, right?
Yeah.
Well, drifting is just the opposite. You want to keep it like really on the edge of grip. It's the fastest.
Oh, okay.
See, it's kind of the opposite of what most people think. When I first got into it, my dad's like, "Are you going to go to the local tire store and get some old bald tires?" And like, no, you actually want new tires with certain tread wears and certain widths at certain like really low pressures.
Yeah.
Because the more grip you have, the more predictable it is, and the faster it is.
Which makes the predictable piece makes total sense. Mm-hmm. The faster part is where it kind of like there's science and other things I don't understand.
Well, if you just think like if you're spinning the back tires, right? If you're spinning the back tires and you have a 235, and then you have a 285, which one's going to be faster? While it's spinning, the 285 is going to be faster.
Okay, why is that?
Because you have more tire on the ground propelling you forward.
Oh.
So we call it...
I guess I'm thinking 235 would have just less resistance, but that just...
Less resistance, slower.
Yeah, okay.
More resistance. So, like in the pro-level cars, I actually work on you ever heard of RTR?
Oh, yeah.
I work for RTR.
Okay.
I'm a spotter for Ben Hobson.
Yeah, I know. I forgot you had this relationship with Ben through the Grassroots drifting piece. Yes, because I was shooting something at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, we were there the same weekend.
We were there at the same time because they were having Formula Drift, and I actually didn't. I was filming Time Attack, and you were there for Formula Drift. Yes, so very cool.
Like those cars have 315s on the back.
Yeah.
And they are the fastest cars on grid.
That's so cool.
And they're on not the best tire. There's better tires. I love Nittos, but there's better tires, but they're still the fastest because they're huge.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of your grip from the size. Also, not to divulge what they're doing there, but like when him and I were in the Pro Spec series, we're on a 255. It was a Spec GT radial.
Yep.
And back then, 255, I think they were a 200 tread wear, and we were 10, 11 pounds hot of tire pressure.
Wow.
Like
that is so
flat.
Cool.
Because it was so much faster.
Yeah.
The more grip you have, it'll propel you.
Well, educate me a bit on just the series itself or pro drifting. Is that year round? Is that certain months out of the year? Are there like how is all of that? Like I guess it'd be Formula Drift, right?
Formula Drift is the highest in the States, highest level.
Like you got the Adam LZs of the world who are involved there. Ben's obviously involved.
Yep.
Von Gittin Jr. Like all those guys. And Von Gittin Jr. owns RTR?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and then James Dean's one of the drivers. He's the winningest driver in Formula Drift.
Yep.
So it's April. Let me get this right. It's April to September is the season. There's 8 rounds, and they kind of crisscross around the country. So it starts in Long Beach, and then they've actually changed it up. I'd have to look at the schedule, but it was Long Beach, Atlanta, Orlando, Jersey, Then it went to St. Louis, Salt Lake, and Seattle, I think. I get them mixed up. But so it just travels around the country, 8 rounds. And for those that haven't seen it, it's basically figure skating in a car.
Yeah.
It's the hardest.
It is awesome.
It's the hardest motorsport for people to wrap their mind around because it's judged.
Yeah.
It's 3 people's opinion of how well you did.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating at times, but when it goes right, it's so rewarding.
And it looks like, sometimes it looks choreographed.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is seamless. Like I don't even know exactly what to, like ballet.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just this flowing, fluid, seamless looking thing. And then sometimes it looks like a mess. And the mess is probably where all the fun is happening.
Yeah. It once again, you have this huge variety of cars, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So you have like one driver, Ryan Turk, is in a Corolla GR, this little itty bitty with almost no rear overhang. And then you have, the RTR cars, these monstrous Mustangs that just basically dwarf everything else on the track.
Yep.
There used to be a Viper. He's not running anymore. There's a Ferrari. There was an Aston Martin at one time. Like, you have this huge variety of cars. But with that being said,
this is at the highest level.
Highest level.
Yeah.
And you have that's one of the coolest parts. There's nothing spec about it.
Yeah.
At Formula Drift, there's some rules that we can get into, but you can run one of like 4 or 5 tires or certain sponsored tires, and the size of the tire is dictated by how much the car weighs.
Okay.
So the heavier the car, the bigger the tire you can have.
Right.
Because they don't want a 2,500-pound car on a 315.
Right.
Because that wouldn't be fair to the 3,000-pound car.
Who's also
on a 315.
Need 315. Yeah.
So that's how they kind of level the playing field.
So if it's a 2,500-pound car, are we on a 275? 295?
255.
255. Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. But just not a 315.
Not a 315.
Yeah.
Because they want to kind of level the playing field.
Yeah.
But with that being said, you'll have there's one guy out there in a S chassis, S13 or 14, that may be on like a 265. Yeah. And you have these Mustangs on 315s. So that doesn't always look great. I mean, the drivers do a spectacular job of making it look good, but sometimes the cars just move different. There's different dynamics.
Yeah.
But it's when it works, like, we talked about the 2 Mustangs are Grassroots cars.
Yeah.
When it's Ben and James driving, it's some of the most beautiful driving you've seen because it's the same cars, the same driver, the same setup, tire pressure.
So these pro-level drivers will still come down and drive in the Grassroots?
No, they'll like when we have practice.
Oh, okay.
Like their practice sessions. Before every event, they'll have like 3 90-minute practice sessions.
Okay, yeah.
Most of the time, they'll end up going at least one, mainly for media. They'll have like one lap where they run together, and it is so beautiful.
Just beautiful.
It is beautiful.
How did you meet Ben?
I met Ben through an event called, I originally met him at Lanier, a local track.
Is he a local guy? Is he a Georgia guy?
He's a Georgia guy now. He was originally from Alabama.
Okay.
He lives in, I'll get him mixed up. It's either Lithia Springs or Powder Springs.
Yeah, so Powder Springs is near here. Lithia Springs is more near.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. He lives in Powder Springs because his dad owns a Ford dealership in Lithia Springs.
Okay.
So that's how
how
I get him mixed up. But I met him at our local track, just a super nice, bubbly personality dude.
Yeah.
Then we ended up going on an event called Drift Week, which is just like Drag Week.
Yep.
Where you unload your drift cars off the track, you throw all your stuff in them, and we did 2 weeks. I think it was 8 track days. We went to and we drove from every track.
That's
you go out there and beat the brakes off your car all day, load back up, and drive to the next one.
Yeah.
And
if it breaks, you're fixing it wherever it is.
Right. And and I don't want to compare drifting to drag racing, but unlike Drag Week, where I've heard you may go to a track and get 3 runs a day.
Yes.
We're getting 30, 40, 50 laps in a day.
So just beating the snot out of your car.
I mean, I'm doing an oil change every other event. Every other track day because,
so cool,
oil temps get high.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to maintain the longevity of the car. So we're just driving around. So him and I were, there's about 5 or 6 of us. We were all roommates.
Yeah.
So we spent 2 weeks Airbnb-ing and driving together and built a bond there. He had a spotter. That's my job.
Yeah.
And he had a spotter. Something happened, and he asked me. And
do you go to every event with him?
Yep.
Every professional
We
drift
did
event?
2 years in Pro Spec, which is right below. We did 2 years together there. He got signed on with RTR. The first year he was with RTR, he used their spotter.
Yep.
And then the second year being this year, they brought me on.
Very cool. Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you. It's fun.
I mean, especially seeing it. I was just introduced to Formula Drift a couple years ago through Jesse and others who watch it and like it, and Taz. So watching it on TV, awesome. Going and seeing it at Road Atlanta or at a track, totally different thing. I mean, this is like, you're like, and to see how many people are so interested in this sport. I mean, it is wild. And so to hear you say RTR, which as somebody who just has a toe dipped into it, I know what that is. I know that is, that is major league, that is professional level.
It's the largest team in FD.
Yeah. I mean, that is. So it's just very cool to. I didn't know all that. Yeah. I knew that you and Ben were friends. I knew you were into grassroots drifting. I had no idea that you were working for RTR. That's so rad, man.
It's so cool. It's nice to see that side of the curtain. For years and years, I was the spectator with the adult beverages on the hill. Having that fun, and then getting to see
but being able to know what's happening because you're into drifting.
Right. Yeah.
So when you're watching what's happening on the course, you have to have a totally different view than somebody like I would.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
You're understanding the steps or the moves, the maneuvers and the speeds and all of that. Whereas I'm just looking at it going, this is insane.
Yeah, when you get down and like knowing all the details and idiosyncrasies of all the little things of like what's happening and why one person won over the other.
Yes,
it's fun, and I love it goes back to the teaching people. I've had people at events. Well, why did he win or what happened there? Why it was this and this, and most of the time people just take it at face value and enjoy it. But drifting is a lot of fun on the pro level. It's stressful. You have sponsors.
Well, there's a lot of money.
Limited
involved.
amount of laps.
Man.
You might do. If you win an event, meaning you've done every battle all the way up to the end, plus your practice laps, you maybe do 40 laps in a weekend.
Wow.
And we're talking about big dollar cars.
Yeah.
Like those Mustangs have like. They're decommissioned NASCAR motors built by Sandy Wilkes that run nitrous.
Wow.
Like they're gnarly motors.
Wow.
And then that's unobtainable.
Yeah.
But you can take that knowledge and that love for it and you can bring it down to the grassroots level and run these $1,500 Mustangs. I mean, I tell people it's the most fun you can have with your pants on.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
drifting is so much fun.
I got to do this with you. And we've talked about this before, me just coming and filming a day with you and like just riding in the car
I'm going to get you in a car because the cool thing about drifting, most of your drag stuff, if you have a fast drag car, you can't have a passenger, right?
Okay, yeah.
And let's say you go out to Road Atlanta on a track day. Yeah. Most of your track organizations don't allow passengers.
It makes sense, yeah.
In drifting, if someone brought their pro car to Lanier, you can go ride in it.
That's so cool. It just has to have a seat over there,
yeah,
right?
it's it's an inclusive event.
Yeah.
Every event I've ever been to, you can go to the pits. Usually no extra cost.
Yeah.
Go walk around. And I actually had a funny idea that I was going to run by you
about
bringing you out to the track.
Dude, I'm down. Well, you want to run it by me right here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I want to bring you out the track and do the drifting stuff at some point. But another thing I thought would be fun, I know you're building like an autocross style truck.
Yeah, this OBS actually, yeah.
And so am I.
Yeah.
What if we had like a YouTuber
bash?
YouTuber comp?
Yeah. Oh, dude, are you going to kill me?
No, I have a 4-cylinder.
And I have an LS?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to teach me to drive it first. So that's what we got to do. You got to show me how to drive it in one video, and then in the next video we race each other.
Yeah.
Or we compete against each other, in quotes.
Yeah. There's kind of some, I don't know, uncertainty what's going to happen to Lanier. There's some stuff going on now, but they were doing some head-to-head like autocross. So you take off, and there were mirrored tracks. And so who gets back to the end?
Okay.
If we could find ourselves at one of those events.
That would be fun.
Yeah, so we just take off side by side, and then the first turn, mine's right and yours is left.
Dude, I can commit to that. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, my little, I don't know if you've seen the little 4-cylinder truck I'm doing now.
What is it?
Have you seen my little Courier?
No, I don't think I have.
So you
mentioned it earlier, but I don't think I've seen it.
My current build I'm doing is a 72 Ford Courier. So the little mini truck, right?
Yeah.
But I put all of the suspension from a 2001 Mazda Miata.
Oh, which is
one of the best handling cars.
One of the best autocross, or even road racing, I guess, type cars.
Independent rear suspension. I put all the front suspension, and it's got a turbo variable valve timing 1.8 from a Miata. So it'll be like a 300 horse 4-cylinder.
But handle it all in that suspension.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the secret to winning right there.
It should be pretty light.
I'm over in a heavy truck.
Yeah, my goal, and I don't know how much this thing's actually going to weigh, but like if I could be in like the 2,300 pound, 2,400 pounds, and 300 horse.
That'd be a rocket.
Yeah. I don't know what it'll actually.
Rocket.
I know a Miata, you can get those down to like 1,900 to 2,000 pounds if you gut them.
Yeah.
And this is going to be gutted. No carpet. It's caged. Just bare bones thing.
Dude, I love that you brought this up.
Yeah.
This is good. That's going to be cool.
That'd be fun. If we
can do this.
Yeah. Even if it's like a regular autocross and we just run times, like I think it'd be fun.
That would be so fun.
And I
thought you meant drifting at first, which is why I was like, you're going to have to teach me how to drift.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll teach you how to drift too.
I could use the help on an autocross course too. I've never run one at all in anything. I've ridden a ton, but I've never driven an autocross course.
Yeah, it's fun. You'll take to it.
I think the road racing appeals to me way more because
me too.
Because you're out getting up to speed, you're having to modulate brake and modulate your I think I'm using this word right, but modulate your speed. You're having to reduce your speed and bring it back up, and you're able to push the vehicle to more toward a higher speed than you are, I would think, on autocross.
I would absolutely agree. And I use the term autocross like what I'm building this for because it's the easiest term to understand.
Sure, for most people, yeah.
I'm going to take it to a lot of track days and stuff because we jokingly call it like the pro autocross trucks.
Yes.
It's hard for me to wrap my mind around building a $100,000 truck and going 35 miles an hour in a parking lot.
Yep.
But it's when like the level 7 trucks, when you see them out on the big courses and they're
like
clicking
that
up,
one was built to
they're clicking up 5th, 6th gear, and those things are screaming like that's cool to me.
That's exciting.
So it will go to autocross. It'll probably get drifted, but like the track day stuff.
Yeah.
And mountains and whatever,
Well, and I would love to do even if I don't have a vehicle there, when you get this truck done and you're out doing some of that, especially if it's local and I'm home, let's plan a time. I'll come film you.
Yeah.
I'll come rig the vehicle up. Like we'll do a full production thing and show people what that's like.
It'd be fun.
That'd be super fun.
And it was funny because I've been thinking about it for a while. I'm like, it'd be kind of neat to do that. And it was, I think last week, one of my subscribers like, hey, you should have a YouTuber mini truck. And they started naming off all the YouTubers that are building mini trucks. Like, man, it'd be hard to put together, but it'd be wild.
That would be rad. Yeah, I think we could do that.
Yeah,
we got to figure that out.
Just something fun, something to get out on the track. As much as I love shows.
Yeah, dude, you're pulling in a parking lot and sitting there.
Yeah, and there's only so many adult beverages you can have with your buddies and shows,
right? And still be able to drive your vehicle out of there.
Yeah, and I love getting to see it. Like, we went to the Turkey Run. Saw Rick and Sarah there.
Yeah, yes.
And a bunch of the local people. It was cool to hang out with them and do the things they do around the tent. Yeah. And then we went out to a bar afterwards and had fun. But like, I want to go like use the trucks. As cool as it is cruising them.
Yeah.
Like Rick was driving his 4-wheel drive Blazer, and I'm on my 2, and we're cruising A1A together.
Yeah.
And that was so stinking cool.
That is cool. Yeah.
But like, if we both had some kind of
performance
trucks,
yeah.
Then we could go out and tear it, and then we could do both.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that is the benefit of some of these pro touring autocross trucks is that they will build them and go, do 35, 40 miles an hour in a parking lot, but they'll also drive them to wherever they go. So they at least get, they're getting that portion out of it, which I love. Like especially a lot of the Finch guys, they're driving these trucks. Oh, yeah. They'll drive them hours away to go race these events and stuff, which I think is super cool. The one thing before we get off of drifting and motorsport stuff is I know what a spotter is, but can you explain to those at home what being a spotter is and being a spotter at the professional level? Like, what does that look like?
All right. So I guess you had to bring it a little bit back to the basics of drifting. So, or at least judge drifting. Yeah. So they'll have zones. So the areas, either the front or the rear the car needs to be in. Okay. So you have like clipping points are typically called, the front zones are typically called clipping points. The rears are zones or touch and goes. So I'm sitting typically in a tower above the track, and I can see all the zones and all the clipping points, and I'm watching their initiation style. So I have multiple jobs, but the biggest one is I'm watching Ben, and I'm making sure that he's in the zone for the entirety, keeping its proximity to the wall or whatever it may be consistent. Nice, smooth races, good initiations. We have drivers' meetings, and they tell us exactly what they want to see. So I'm making sure that he's applying it correctly, because when you're in one of those monstrous cars, you may not realize that you made a little mistake, or you're a little off here or there, because there's a lot going on. So
are you radioed into him? Are you in his ears?
Okay, we have headsets, and so I'm watching him to make sure he's doing right, so he can make what we call like the 100-point run. Like if it's judged out of 100, I want him to be perfect. So I give him all the information he needs to make his 100-point run so that when they come to battle, because there's a lead and chase, right? So, for instance, he'll lead one, chase the second.
Yep.
And they judge each driver's job in each position.
Okay.
But I'm also watching the other people that we're going to go against. And I'm like, hey, Ben, he's a little far off here. He transitions funny there. This is his style of initiation.
Yeah.
So that when it's Ben's turn to chase, he knows exactly what the guy, or the best we can guess, what he's going to do. So if he transitions differently, I'm like, hey, Ben, in this section right here, he's transitioning 10 feet later than you are.
Yeah.
So that he has the best opportunity to give him that mirrored run.
Wow.
So that he can win the battle.
And he's and in doing so, he's getting style points. He's getting points for compensating for what the other driver is, his style is in a way. And is that more in a chase scenario? Because if he's leading the chase, is the chase person mimicking his style more?
Right. And this is where it gets so funny, because every year
I know, and I'm using just plain layman. I don't even know.
It's perfect because most people aren't in the weeds like I am.
Yeah.
Every year, Formula Drift, even sometimes event to event, they'll change exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Like we're really putting emphasis this year. They really put emphasis on the lead driver, because whatever the lead does, the chase has to react to it. So where it used to be, they wanted the chase driver just on the door as close as you could possibly be. The transitions, it looks like you're taking their bumper off. Like that's what they wanted. Now they're really like, hey, we want the lead driver to be absolutely perfect, so the chase driver has the best opportunity to put on that show. So it used to be more emphasis on chase. Now it's more emphasis on lead.
Okay. That is so crazy.
And it changes, and every track's a little different. You know, we'll have like OSW, which is 2 turns. It's a banked oval. You know, they would run it like backwards of NASCAR, right? They'd run it like clockwork. And they'd run turns 1 and 2, or 2, 1. They cross through the center section, and then they run the apron of 3 and 4 in the traditional direction. Very simple track, pretty straightforward. Still hard, has its own difficulty.
Sure.
And then the last track we run is in Long Beach, and there's 8 zones.
Wow.
OSW, there's 2. There's 8 at Long Beach.
So pretty complex. A lot going on.
Yeah, they're totally different. And it's a flat parking lot. So we have like the flat parking lot events, Long Beach. They run that one twice. OSW is banked oval. There's another banked oval. You have Road Atlanta. Yeah. Which is an actual proper road course.
Right.
And
they're coming up. There's like grade, they're coming up and then going back changes. Down. Yeah, which is what I thought was so cool about.
It's neat. It's neat because you see, to be good at it, you have to be good at all the different kinds of tracks. Yeah. Some people are really good at ovals and not so great at road courses.
It's kind of like NASCAR. Some are better at super speedways. Some are better at the normal tracks. And
I'm not a huge follower of NASCAR, but I know the top. Let's say the top 10 people. Right?
Yeah, totally.
And I love when they go to road courses because I usually find out about someone I didn't know.
Yeah, the Shane Vaughn.
Yes,
the one who's just been dominating.
I wasn't
all the road courses.
His name. That's the one. I didn't know he existed.
Australian.
Yeah, I didn't know he existed until like last year when he started wearing everybody out.
He's just wearing out the road courses.
Yeah. Then I look him up. I'm like, oh, he's an Australian touring car champion, which is basically NASCAR that turns both ways all the time.
Right, which is insane, right? Yeah. That is so cool. And when I watch NASCAR and they're on a road course, I'm like, this just looks so out of place.
Yeah, like him. And then I will say, like Chase Elliott, he does real well.
Totally.
But he also has a road course in his backyard.
That's right. Well, speaking of road courses or drift courses, what is your favorite in the pro level? At the pro level?
Oh, road courses for sure.
Yeah.
Road courses because they're faster. There's a smaller margin of error.
Yeah.
And usually they just like. All these cars, for instance, like our cars, they make like 1,500 horsepower. Like when they're full tooted up, like ready to go.
I like that, full tooted.
And like
also podcast title.
And when we're at Long Beach, we can't really use all the power.
Yeah.
It's like just you just want
need
a little more room.
Yeah.
One of the tracks we go to, Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Utah Motorsports Campus, I think they call it. They messed up the initiation this year, but previous years, it was 100-mile-an-hour initiation, and you were carrying an average of 80 to 85 miles an hour at any point of the track.
Wow.
Flying.
That is flying.
Yeah, like Road Atlanta, they have like 90-ish mile-an-hour entries, and then up the hill and back. I mean, it's more entertaining. And being a driver, like I know how much more fun that is.
Yeah, I haven't been to a bunch of road courses. I just grew up. I'm a cruiser, it's just classic cruiser.
Right.
But Road Atlanta and the media stuff is actually what's pulled me out into those road courses more, and my interest in time attack, road course type stuff. And then I end up just bumping into the drift stuff, which is just slowly gaining more interest in my head. I always feel like I'm behind on that kind of, on the motorsports kind of stuff. Like it takes me years to kind of get into what people are already into. But been to Road Atlanta, and then I was at a pit race up in Pittsburgh, which is a road course, and they were doing an Optima autocross event there. And there's a pretty good, at least in my view, a pretty good amount of elevation there. And those dudes were flying on that road course. I mean, hauling the mail. And I had a great perspective. I was actually filming for LOJ Conversions, which is a bunch of Nissan 350Z, really built up type Nissan vehicles, and they actually had some Frontiers out there that were just killing it, and it was so awesome. But I had a good view of the track, and just being able to see them come down that elevation and just really run it super hard, it seemed, and then see some of them spin out and end up in the in the grass. And it's just there's a lot going on when you're on a road course, whether it be drifting or actually racing the course itself. And I don't know, there's just something about it that appeals to me more than the autocross thing, which I know the autocross thing is so important.
It's hard. It's hard in its own respect.
Yes,
but when you have gravity to contend with, we run one event a year at the National Corvette Museum.
In
Bowling Green.
Yep.
And they run that section they call the gravity cab.
Yes.
And when you're coming out there, like I'll be in my Corvette, I'll be like, I'll flick it through. It's like a right and then a huge downhill, and like you're going, like you're full flat-footed, and as soon as you start coming off, you start lifting the throttle because gravity's doing half the work. And then as soon as you get to the bottom, you smack it again, and you run back up the hill.
I actually saw this yellow and white truck run there. Jesse ran it there at NCM. I forgot about that. That was during a Pro Touring Truck Shootout event, I think, early on.
Yeah, that's a really cool track. My favorite track is one that no one's heard of unless you're from drifting. Is a place in Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's 10 miles from Jack Daniel's distillery.
Yeah.
It's called Polecat.
Never heard of it.
It's a couple old country dudes with some money that built a racetrack through the hills of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And they originally did it for police and military road training.
Yep.
But then they let us start drifting it there.
Wow.
There's one turn that has 80 feet of elevation change.
In the turn?
From one turn to the next turn is 80 feet.
Wow.
It is wild.
I bet that is so much fun.
You come up to the top, it's kind of like a sharp hairpin at the top, and you just unwind, and then when you flick it to the bottom, it goes straight back uphill. And
that feels like a roller coaster.
When you hit it just right, like in a car that has a bunch of mechanical grip, you get to the bottom, and you can feel your helmet like
compressing. Yeah.
Like it is so much fun.
Man.
Whereas if you took those same two turns and put them in a flat parking lot, it'd be fun, but it's nothing like the same.
Yeah. This is so exciting. I think I'm going to have you back just so we can talk more about drifting. This is so fun.
Now, we're going to have a live podcast at a track.
Yes, we are. Live podcast, teaching moments.
Here it is now. Robbie's first drift event.
Yes. And autocross, it sounds like. Well, before we are getting close to our time here, but before we jump off this interview, talk a little bit about your time on YouTube. Best Damn Shop Around, which is a great name for a shop in general.
Yeah.
Also a great name for a brand and a YouTube channel. Talk a little bit about how long that's been going, why you started it. I know some of the answers to this, but I'm curious, and I know folks at home will be curious about this.
Okay, there's a couple parts to it. And so the name, I get a lot of comments from the people that get it.
Yeah.
For those that don't, there was a absolute icon in NASCAR called Smokey Yunick.
Yeah.
I mean, he was an engineer, crew chief.
Yes, I've heard
car
the name
builder.
Before. Yep.
He would always push the envelope. He would find the gray areas. He was never content. He always tried to better himself, better the cars, and he worked with what he had. He didn't have. I actually got to go to a shop before it closed, and he didn't have anything special. He just made it work with what he had.
Yeah.
And the name of his shop was Best Damn Garage in Town.
Was
the name of his shop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he's probably one of my biggest icons, because I feel like I try to do the same thing. I don't have the biggest shop. I don't have the best equipment, but I do the best I can. And everything I do, I try to make it better and better. Yeah. So a little nod to him. I took some words, moved them around. That's how we started the shop.
Yours might actually be a roll off the tongue a little better. Best Damn Shop Around, Best Damn Garage in Town.
Yeah.
That's good, man. I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that's where it came from.
It was in Daytona Beach, and like I said, the only time I went there was during his estate sale after he passed. And they had like predated 427 big blocks, pre-production. Experiment. He was the first one to run turbos in NASCAR. He was the first one to. He chopped roof lines. He made cars shorter and more aero. Like, there's countless stories we can go into about all the crazy stuff he did. But I just loved it, and I love the name. And I'm like, if I'm going to name my shop, I want it to be something you're going to remember.
Oh yeah, you definitely remember that.
Yeah, like there's so many times I hand cards, I get like, that's pretty funny. Like, okay, you're going to remember me,
right?
So I did the shop thing forever, and actually, you were my inspiration to start a channel.
Oh, awesome!
Because I'd met you, and you were so kind, and you were friendly, and you were not doing it for you. No. You were doing it for the community to broaden people's, to broaden their view. Like, hey, look, you can build this cool thing. I didn't know about a lot of shows until you went to them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, Robbie's a normal guy. I can do it. I'm already building stuff that when I take to shows or when I post on Instagram, people have a lot of engagement with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the work anyway. Why not film it?
I love it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, it has been a journey. My girlfriend, Amber, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be doing it today. Yeah. I started doing everything, the building, the filming, the editing, the posting. It's tough. I'm not we have a joke between her and I. I'm hardware and she's software. I don't even own a computer. I'm 38 years old. I don't own a computer. Yeah. But she has a computer related job and she's a whiz. She can edit a video in a third of the time of me and be twice as good. Yeah. So she's handles all that, thankfully. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm gonna build it and
film it.
And it's had its ups and downs. Yeah. There'll be times where you set expectations for yourself.
Dude.
Oh, I need a video a week, 2 videos a week. It needs to be, I got hung up on this thing for a long time. Like, a video needs to be start to finish one project. Yeah. I'm like, that is not possible.
It's impossible.
Not if you're cranking a video a week.
Yeah. Now, and you got to have it is possible, but you have to have a budget and team to make that happen. It is, with the exception of Cletus, which he's not fully building vehicles all in one video, but with the exception of him and his team, I mean, he has a team, but it really takes unbelievable focus, budget, and team to make that kind of thing happen.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to miss a lot of steps if you're doing it that way, too. You're not going to be able to cover a lot of it.
And that's what I've tried to – there's a lot of channels I really like that I think go too deep into the weeds. Yeah. They'll be building something, and let's say it's an hour video. It'll be 20 minutes of video, and I'm just like, I know that, you know that.
And you're a technical person, and you still don't want to.
Yeah, so I'm fast forwarding, like, get something either entertaining or I don't know, educate me. Yeah. And so my stuff, I kind of glaze over of, I'm not going to show you how to put a butt connector on. Yeah. I'm not going to show me scraping the intake manifold gaskets off. Right. I try to hit the high points, keep it entertaining, keep it moving.
I'm the same way. Finding that balance between entertainment, education, instruction, whatever it is. Right. Like, you got to just, I like to have a balance, and I think it makes it feel much more consumable. And I found the same with your videos.
And I found, and I know I've done it. Some other people, I don't know about you, but I find myself trying to chase trends a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to chase the algorithm. It's better,
Totally.
And you know what? I was like, I'm just going to do what I enjoy. And I'm going to let it just go naturally, let it be organic. If I get another subscriber, great. If I don't, hey, at least
You've come to the place that I've come to.
Yeah.
But you'll burn yourself out.
Here's the harsh reality of YouTube. You don't make a lot of money from it. But it was never about the money for me. Yeah. I see so many people like, oh, I want to become a YouTuber. Like, you better have some other income streams.
Totally.
Because it does pay, but not a lot. But my biggest thing is the comments. Yeah. When I get the people that like, hey, thank you for the inspiration, or I was thinking about doing that, but now I feel more confident doing it, or hey, I never thought about thank you for this. The positive. I'm fortunate. I don't know about other people, but I would say I would have 98% positive responses to everything I do. And the interactions, and when someone buys a T-shirt, when someone buys a hat, I feel good because
isn't that crazy?
Like, they want my little sticker, they want my little goofy sticker. Yeah, I just love that. So it's self-satisfaction.
We were talking off screen or off camera earlier, and it's people wanting to support something that you came up with inside your head by yourself. In most respects, it doesn't mean you don't have people helping you make it all happen, but Best Damn Shop Around came from you. UBT came from me. It came from something inside my head, and then it turned into something that the public can consume. And the fact that they want to consume it in any way, however many amount of people it is the most satisfying thing. I can't even, it's hard to, satisfy is not even the appropriate word because it's way more than that.
Right.
But it's something that I can see you take a lot of pride in. And I'll be honest with you, when you bought the F100 from me, I think we were talking 5,000 subscribers for you, and 50 for me. And you're at like 16,000 subscribers now. I was looking the other night, and I'm
and you got the
stoked
boy
for
plaques over here.
Man.
That's so cool. I love to see your journey up too. Like it's so inspiring. Like not only because I can see that you can do it, but like I can see you you stay positive and you help. I've seen when you make a post. I'm nosy. I'm like, I'm going to look on here, and people ask tire sizes. You're right there. Here's the offset of the wheel. I feel like we have a similar mentality when it comes to
Well, I want to share the information because how would I know this if somebody didn't share it with me? And I do feel like UBT is kind of classic truck 101. It can be somebody like you who is very skilled and built many a vehicle and still enjoy our content. But a lot of times it's that guy who's thinking about buying his first classic truck, or he's got his granddad's old classic truck and just realized, I can make this cool.
Exactly.
And then UBT is kind of the first thing you might find if you're searching around on YouTube.
Here in front of us we got magazines.
Yeah, man.
And classic truck, CK, and then I also see you have Rod and Custom.
Yeah, like these old hot rod magazines.
Unfortunately, that's not people's inspiration anymore.
No.
When I was growing up, my dad had like Rod and Custom, Hot Rod. Seemed like you had, I don't remember, 2 or 3 other.
Yeah, I had mini truck and sport truck, trucking, street trucks.
Hell, even had Hemmings as much as.
Yeah, I mean, I got some Hemmings around here too. Yeah.
And now, as great as the magazines still are, that's not where people get their inspiration.
Well, there's much less magazine to consume.
Unfortunately. So now, like what we do is kind of the same inspiration that Hot Rod Magazine had.
Yep.
When you've seen a Hot Rod article on how to, one of my best videos ever is how to do a TBI to carburetor swap.
Oh, yeah, right. Go in the opposite direction, right. And fuel injection to carburation.
Yeah, because, TBIs, it's antiquated. You can't really diagnose it. I don't know, whatever. Everyone's got their own opinion.
Yeah.
But I did a little video that I thought was just going to be a throwaway filler video.
Yeah.
Like here's the intake you use, here's the fuel line adapters, the carburetor, this is how you tune it and starts. And there's so many people like, man, that's awesome. I've even had people like, this is the kind of stuff that we used to see in Hot Rod.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just different now.
I think you're right, and I love the visual aspect of it. Whereas when you only had magazines, that was the visual. You had the great photography in a magazine or a tech article. But now we get to do it with even if you don't have the best cameras that are available to you, you still have good quality video in most respects.
Right.
I'm not just saying you, but I'm saying anybody who wants to have a YouTube channel, even if you just pull the phone out of your pocket. The audio is going to be the worst part of that scenario, not the video piece. And
that's one of the things I've always complimented you on is like your audio and video is so stinking good.
Man, I try.
Like mine, I got a decent camera. I do my thing, but I see like your stuff. I'm like, whew, man.
Well, but that is also a part of, whereas you build vehicles for customers because that's where your strengths are. The media side is where my strengths are. Right. And that's a part of my business, that's off of YouTube, is doing that kind of work for clients. So it's the same, it's the same thing. You're building customer vehicles and I'm doing client media work.
Right.
But I do take a lot of pride in it. It's something that I didn't know anything about when I started UBT, and now I feel like I have at least a decent grasp on it, and don't feel bad about charging people money to help them with creating videos.
Yeah, because it's knowledge. It's just a different kind. It's a different art, 100%. Right? Different medium.
Yep.
Where
we just both happen to love the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, where I might have like a paint gun and a welder, you have this beautiful equipment here and these awesome mics and just different.
Yeah, but we're still making the same content.
Yeah.
About the same thing.
And helping people like, I know I keep beating the same dead horse.
No, man, it is.
It's growing the community because I love it. I just love to see like I said, I'm 38. I'm seeing a lot of these people coming in at 16, 18, getting their first classic trucks. I'm like, hey, what flip kit, what brand shock extenders did you, and I'm just like immediately like,
this is what you should use.
You want to flip, you go to Tinworks. You want this, you go to that. Like
that's right.
Because I've made all the mistakes.
Me too, man.
I know that, and
I make them on camera, and then have to say this was a mistake.
I wish there was some way to edit like some of my old videos, because there's products I used to use.
Oh, I wouldn't use now.
That I don't care for now. Yeah. Like there's a certain I'm not going to say the name of a spindle company that has really went downhill.
Yep.
That I used to. That was the only drop spindles I used.
Yep.
Now I wouldn't use them.
Yeah.
And
I feel the same way.
I'm like, man, I wish I could go back. Or like in the LS fuel system video.
Yeah.
I gave a part number to a fuel pump that's no longer manufactured.
Oh man, I'm king of getting. I'm not dyslexic, but I'm king of messing up the part numbers. Now that's kind of easy to figure out,
right.
But it'll be like CS147, and I'll be like CS174. Say it. Sometimes I catch it when I edit it and have to go put it back up on screen. Like that kind of stuff drives me nuts about older videos where I mess up, that kind of thing. Because I am big on trying to give the right information. Like you said. Name a fuel pump that's no longer
EP381. That was the go-to.
That was the
go-to. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, right.
Now it's the TI Innovations, whatever. I have to look it up every time.
I love it.
Like figuring it out and going from there.
Well, I think if you're listening at home and you didn't know who Tim was at the top of this interview, you definitely want to go check out Best Damn Shop Around on YouTube, Instagram. You got some cool, honest, just really good classic truck and car content and drifting content. I mean, you got all sorts of stuff. You're a very automotive enthusiast, diverse type content creator and builder. And I'm really glad you came in today, man.
I'm glad you had me, and I appreciate the kind words, because I just try to do the best I can and see things through, trying to be as detailed as I feel like is necessary.
Yeah, man.
And just, it's fun. Like I said, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to build this. I would have done that two-wheel drive swap regardless.
That's right.
I would have built this silly courier thing, which is oddly like one of the most popular builds I've ever done.
Because it's unique.
Yeah.
It's because it's unique.
I did a video, pick my next project, and I legit 100% was going to pick whatever the people voted for.
No kidding.
It was the unibody, a 68 step-side C10, a 56 Dodge truck, and that courier. And honestly, the courier, all these other ones are under my pole barn, nice and dry. The courier was over there sitting with a tree that fell across the camper top. And I was like, I'll just throw this in for a fourth one, right? Yeah. It was 75% courier was voted. And I'm like, okay, I said I was going to do it.
Here we go.
And
man, what a plan you've got.
Yeah,
you got an awesome plan.
It's funny, I nicknamed that one Lucky because I bought it, and one of the reasons I bought it had a vintage aluminum camper top on it. Well, a windstorm came and a tree fell right across the bed, smoked the camper top. The truck is perfect.
That is luck.
I was like,
that is luck.
Because if it would have fell across the roof, it would have went to the scrapyard.
The truck had been done.
Yeah, I'm like,
no fixing that.
I paid $300 for it.
Right.
I love I stay on Marketplace looking for like Repus and Hiluxes and like old vintage 70s mini trucks. That one popped up for $500.
Wow.
And I called the guy, went and looked at it, and I looked at it. I'm like, man, it's everything you said it was. It was an honest ad. And he's like, well, do you want it? I'm like, honestly, I want it, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what's your want it price? I was like, at the time where we were at, I think I was maybe 10 miles from his house. And I was like, would you deliver it for $300? He's like, what time you want me to be there?
Yes. You just got it out of his way.
And I'm like,
I just bought this truck.
He's like, dude, it's been on here for a month. You're the first person to come look at it, and I didn't want to see it crushed.
No kidding.
He's like, I would probably get $300 for scrap.
Yeah, that's true.
He said, I'll bring it to your house.
I love it.
And it's just kind of
that's how it started. What's a repu?
A repu
I thought you messed up saying repo for a second.
No, a repu. RUPU.
Never heard of that.
It's a 73 to 76. I'm probably going to mess the years up.
That's okay.
But it's a Mazda mini truck that had a rotary in it, factory.
Whoa, okay.
And on the tailgate, it has stamped in the metal rotary power.
Wow.
Very ultra rare.
Like an FD, is it FD?
It'd be an FB motor.
FB motor, but it's like what would have been in a RX-7.
Yep, like a what would be a FB RX-7. So it's a 12A carbureted 2-rotor, and it came in trucks.
No kidding.
And it's actually the same chassis and cab as the Courier, because Ford didn't make those.
Yeah,
they're made by Mazda in Japan, so it shares the same bones as a repu.
Okay.
But they're just
I didn't know that.
Ultra rare. This, I think, is probably the rarest of the old mini trucks.
No kidding.
That and the Hilux.
Dude.
Yeah, that
this
one.
Is cool, man.
Yeah, like the one that Puddin's Fab Shop's building.
Yeah.
Dude,
dude, Jacob's the man. He is a super kind guy. I know we keep running down rabbit holes here, and we need to wrap it up. But Jacob is an amazing dude.
Yeah,
he's got some awesome skills, great taste, and he just gets in there. And I admire him so much. He doesn't do shows. He doesn't do hardly any of that. I mean, he does some of it. He'll do swap meet type stuff, but he gets in there and builds stuff.
You're right. I love that, and he is a lot like me in the sense of like style and taste.
Yeah. He's all over the place. Yeah. He's got diversity.
Steelies and caps, mini trucks, square bodies, and all that stuff.
Dude, that 4-wheel drive square body he just built. Cool. God, that thing's bad.
It's so cool. Bone. So like
bad to the bone.
You were my main inspiration, and when I seen him, I was like, he's just this old country boy from Oklahoma. I'm just this old country boy
having a ball, man.
Like, just to have fun.
He has reached out to me quite a few times, invited me to his place, which I could not believe.
That's cool.
And just been super encouraging and highlighted mud when we built mud. He highlighted it on his channel, which he didn't have to do any of that.
I've had a lot of people say that, like, hey, you should collab with him because we build like the same kind of stuff.
Totally.
So like,
well, if I ever make that trip out there, we'll do it.
I'd love to go. Fun. I love his stuff. It's funny because people say I build stuff like him.
I agree.
And I don't think I've ever told you this, but it's really funny. I've had probably a dozen people think I was you at car shows.
I've heard that before.
Like they walk up and like, hey man, where's your truck? And I was like, it's over there. He's like, where's the green 68? I'm like, oh.
I've had people tell me they got me and you confused at a car show. Yeah. Especially when my beard was fuller.
Yeah. I was like, that's pretty fun. I don't think I ever told you.
Hey, I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah. I don't know. Might be calling you ugly.
You're a much larger, like you got like a thick chest.
Well,
like you've been
double
working
cheeseburgers
out
and Dairy
Is
Queen,
that what it is?
Yeah.
I feel like you've been working out, man.
Yeah, no, that's a whole separate thing. But yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming in today, man.
I appreciate you having me.
Let's go eat some lunch and then go film this Blazer.
You had me at lunch.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.